What is a good book everyone should read? A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. The movie is just a movie. The book is a linguistic puzzle and a masterpiece. That the author claimed to have written it in just 3 weeks makes it even more impressive. The American version omits a final chapter. Stanley Kubrick didn't use it in the film and considered it superfluous, but Burgess insisted this chapter was vital to the story. Grab the unabridged version and decide yourself. I genuinely think everyone should read both Animal Farm and 1984. Not necessarily because they're great books or because I agree with the points that they make, though they are both good books, but just because so many people seem to basically make up the points that they make. Fahrenheit 451 is another one that falls into this category. Ancillary Justice. It's a space opera like Dune or Star Wars that explores identity, imperialism, gender, class, and race, among other things. The exposition is incredibly well done, and the choice of main character allows for some interesting storytelling at times. The first-person narrator also has a limited omniscient perspective. Lord of the Rings trilogy beginning with The Hobbit. Read them as a teen in the 70s and then again in the 80s. After reading the books, the movies were somewhat disappointing because so many details were left out. They were good, but the books were much more satisfying. No Longer Human by Taizo Osamu. It's just a masterpiece. It's tragic and for some people it's disturbing. But honestly I think it's just amazingly written, as sad as it is. Of course look at the trigger warnings for it, it's got a lot of sensitive topics. The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I read the first time many years ago and felt that it was one book that everyone should read. Will our society and the environment evolve to that point? It definitely could. The book was a wake-up call. The Myth of Sisyphus, and The Sickness and Death. Both will probably completely change your life. Also some other good books which are less likely to change your life, Kite Runner and A Long Walk to Water, The Giving Tree. And it should be required reading, and rereading, for all children. Maybe we can rub off some of that it's okay to be kind and altruistic on all the would-be demagogues out there. The two best books I've read in the last year are The Black Count and Killers of the Flower Moon. If historical non-fiction is appealing at all to you, I highly recommend both of those. The Book As a Man Thinketh, and also the book Man's Search for Meaning. 27 Search for Meaning. It's All Quiet on the Western Front by Erich Maria Remarque is an important book I feel. Truly showed the First World War as it was from the perspective of a German soldier. The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. It's about racism, poverty, and medical ethics. It sounds boring, but it will straight up make you cry. It's a fantastic book. Personally I feel Tuesdays with Morrie, The 5 People You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom were beautiful to read and invoked a lot of emotions. That's my 2 cents. Not sure the response it got, but it's got many upvotes and comments as well, and I definitely think it's a book that should be read once in your life. Ordinary Men Reserve Police Battalion 101 and The Final Solution in Poland. It's important to see that anyone can be influenced into becoming a mass murderer. Fiction is Dark Materials, by Philip Pullman. Non-fiction This Man's Pill, by Carl Djerassi. Chick Little Watermelon, by Marianne Keyes. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. It isn't about giving no fucks at all, but rather giving a fuck about the right things. The Undiscovered Self by Carl Jung. Still profound and relevant. Clear inspiration for Kubrick when making The Shining. Lord of the Rings, Jaws, To Kill a Mockingbird, Guards, The Secret Diary of Adrian Mole, The Land God Gave to Cain. Yes Man by Danny Wallace. There is also a movie with Jim Carrey, but the book is really different and really interesting. Foundations of Geopolitics by Alexander Dugin. It is a batshit crazy book and taught in Academy of the Russian military. I thought Cosmos by Carl Sagan was a great book I highly recommend to anyone no matter what genre you enjoy most. Ready Player One. I have to say the book is better than the movie, and there another one, Ready Player Two. I can think of a lot of good books, but I can't think of any that I think everyone should read. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Ken Kesey. Blew my teenage high school mind and still holds up. Might get downvoted for this, but Wuthering Heights. A quintessential Gothic romance, the Bible. So you can truthfully claim that you read more Bible than most Christians. Anything by Kurt Vonnegut. Specifically Cat's Cradle or Man Without a Country. Factfulness Hans Rosling. It will make you feel better about the world. The Communist Manifesto. We should liberate ourselves from the devils. Kite Hunter. The movie is May, but the book is painful and gorgeous. Slewfoot by Brom. Easily my favorite despite upsetting me so much. Northern Lights. The movie is bae, but the original book is superb. The Grand Disguise. Stephen Hawking. Home Aluden's Johann Huizinga.